Alright, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about my sophomore year in high school. Last video we obviously talked about freshman year and a little bit of my 8th grade year. So in between, starting off in between the summer of freshman and sophomore year, that summer I did a camp for JRTC called JCLC. That stands for Junior Cadet Leadership Challenge, I think. It was hosted at Fort Pickett, which is in Virginia. And that was fun. It involved school, so I figured I'd talk about it. It's for a week. Uh, it was okay. I've only been to one, so I can only talk about my time there. I'm not gonna talk about a lot, but we did a whole bunch of stuff, from rappelling, obstacle courses, a lot of walking, and a lot of wading. That's pretty much it. Swam a little bit. That's pretty much about it. So if that's that, that was for GRTC. I did that because I wanted to be an officer my junior year, but I would actually become an officer like the first day of sophomore year. So that was kind of interesting. Plus, I just wanted to have the tab. Anyway, no. So going into sophomore year, I was like, I don't really know. Your sophomore year, from what I understand, is supposed to be like a pretty critical year. It's supposed to be like the most important year next to junior year. You start taking more important classes. A lot of classes open up. You have a lot more options than you did freshman year. I, on the other hand, didn't really do that. So I was taking biology, which I'll get into that. Driver's ed. All sophomores have to take driver's ed. It's a part of your PE. So when I say driver's ed, that's PE pretty much. It's our health. Okay. English 10, geometry, PE. So PE and health are two different things. You get one for health, like a health or a driver's ed grade. That's what I meant to say instead of health. You get a driver's ed grade, and then you get one for PE. Intro to culinary arts, JRTC 2, and world history 2. So we'll go by each class. So biology, I was okay in science. Obviously, biology is you have to take that in my school. You have to have, I think, 2 sciences or whatever. It was okay. The teacher was a real big like, she was not a good teacher. I am graduated. That was 2 years ago, and I think of things she said and how stupid she is. Like, now I don't know a lot about biology. I don't teach it, and she she shouldn't have been teaching it either. She was on like my level of biology. Ended up getting a D in that class. She lost so much work. I'm gonna tell you the story. So, if you caught my last video, you'll know that I didn't pass my algebra SOL. So you have many opportunities to retake that, and I want to say around December was the first opportunity. And they offered remediation. I think it was like a Monday. They sent this. No, yeah, it was a Monday. They sent the stuff out. Tuesday was the remediation, and Wednesday you would take the SOL. So something like that. So Monday, I had that first block. I had it every day. So Monday I walk in. I volunteered to take the SOL, so I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna get this pass to go to remediation because it was during school, and that class is only like 50 minutes, because you have it every day. Anyway, so we leave that class. I was like, I guess I'll get it tomorrow. And then the next day, I was like, wonder when I'm gonna get this pass. But somebody walked in with a note. We have like teachers' aides where I went to school. Walked in with a note. And she was like, okay, and put it on her desk. One thing about her, she's like, don't ever put anything on my desk because I won't find it. I was like, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. She's like, handed it directly to me, and then she would put it on her desk. I was like, really? So she put it on her desk, the note, and she didn't call me up or anything. No worse for me. I found out the next day, the day I'm supposed to take the SOL. Oh, I forgot to give this to you. This is for remediation, and I was like, are you serious? I was like, so it's like, if I fail this SOL and it's because I didn't get remediation, and it's on you. I pretty much told her, I was like, well, I was like, do you think I could retake it because you didn't give this to me? And she's like, I don't know, it's not up to me. And I was like, you're not even taking responsibility for what you did. She didn't apologize or anything. She failed SOL. I didn't get remediation. I think that would be the last time I take the algebra SOL. Anyway, fuck her. I hated her. Driver's ed is taught by your PE teacher. Driver's ed, I actually had my my learners at that moment, and they just went over stuff so you can take the driver's test to get your learners, which was kind of stupid. But the only way you can get out of that class is if you have your license, which I didn't get till I want to say January. December or January, and already the class was almost done. Yeah, I think we only took it for a semester. I think I could be wrong. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's if you don't have your learners in sophomore year, it's no big deal. Just take driver's ed, and you'll definitely pass if your teacher's good. English 10. Sophomore year, I had the hardest teacher, English teacher. Not gonna say his name. My friend's watching this, you know who it is. He sucked. His class sucked. He was a cool person. I liked him. I felt like we got along. He was cool, but his class he's the hardest teacher I've ever had. And somehow I passed that class. I think I had, no joke, like a 49 first 9 weeks, and like a 69 is a D. So 49, definitely an F. And I passed his class with a D. So thank you, sir. I had to do the only way I would pass is if spring break I did this huge project that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in high school. And only a few people had to do it, or he only offered it to a few people, and I was like one of two that did it. And I think I passed. But other people that got the opportunity to get it, or to take it, or do it, I should say, they ended up passing somehow, and they didn't even do it. So whatever. I started whistling after that. Geometry. So I actually passed geometry and got a D, but my teacher wasn't. I didn't really like her, to be honest. She was okay. I don't want to say that. She was okay, but I passed geometry. But my teacher thought I wasn't ready to go on to whatever's next, algebra 2, geometry 2, whatever. So I would end up retaking geometry and excel in it. No joke. I did amazing, but that's for the next video. That's junior year. Health, PE. I was done with health or gym in sophomore year. Like when I was going into high school, I was like, I'll just take gym all year. It's an easy credit, or all 4 years. I was like, what? Like no joke. In October, I was done with gym. It's so stupid at our school. I hated it. Like I would skip class. That was the only class I've ever skipped. I would just sit in the bathroom. It was during lunch. It was the longest class. I would just sit there, and I never got caught. So, so other than maybe gym and geometry, I would have intro to culinary arts, all in the same day too. So it's like split up. We would have certain classes on one day. On other days, you would have other classes, the rest of your classes. So on some days, I would have, well, every day I would have biology, but I didn't like that class. So these were the worst days ever. I had biology, intro to culinary arts, which I hated, PE, and geometry. Those days sucked. That was the worst schedule I've had all year, or all 4 years in high school. I hated those days. If Friday was one of those days, I'd be like, oh my god, thank God it's Friday. But if it was Monday, I was like, I'm ready to kill myself. I was like, I'll just smoke, I'll dome myself. But I hated intro to culinary arts, and like I'm not a bad cook. I didn't really teach it. I didn't really learn anything, rather. Like I'm not a bad cook. I can cook, like legit. Like I'm not stupid. I know when the meat's done. I can grill a little bit, but I didn't learn anything. The teacher was a douchebag. I didn't have any friends in that class. I had like a few, but they weren't really like good friends. And he would bring. I'm saying this, but like all chefs I've ever met are douchebags. He brought in other chefs from schools, from college schools, like culinary majors, I guess. Chefs in like the local, not local, but I live kind of close to Richmond, like 5-star restaurants in Richmond, and they were all just dicks. Like I would look forward to those days because we wouldn't cook. We would be standing for a long time because we would be watching him, but we wouldn't cook. And those guys were just dicks. I hated that class. JRDC. After that, I got a C in culinary arts. It wasn't that hard, but like I just hated it. JRDC I had next. I like that class. I like it all 4 years. That was the first year I interviewed for a staff position. Freshman year, and I was the assistant to the S2 beginning of sophomore year. But he stepped down S2. And I took over as primary S2. Woo! As primary S2 for the remaining 3 years. And then World History 2. I love history. I had a different teacher than freshman year, but he was cool. He was a basketball coach, and he was okay. He's kind of funny. So that's gonna be it for sophomore year. I didn't take any. SOLs. I obviously didn't pass the geometry SOL, so I'm still needing a math credit as of sophomore year. But I passed the rest of the SOLs. I think at this point I have what? 1, 2, I took 7, 8. I have 14 credits, I want to say. 14 or 15 credits, which is pretty good. If I had any advice for sophomores, I don't really know. Just stay in there. You're closer to finishing than you were last year. But sophomore year, very important year. For me, it was the hardest year. A lot of people think junior year is the hardest year. Nope. For me, sophomore year was my least favorite year and the hardest year. So that's gonna do it for sophomore year. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this like little series. We got 2 more years to go, and the other 2 are pretty nice. We got some fun stories coming. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.